Hatzliach. What we're going to do is we're going to address a problem that many men have. A lot of women have, but men is predominantly. Okay, men, a lack of core strength and lack of flexibility, especially in the hamstrings and the glutes. We're talking about the gluteus maximus muscle, okay, and we're talking about the biceps semitendinous. That's the biceps. It's not this bicep, but the biceps semitendinous. This is the hamstring that goes to the back. It's really two long strips of muscles, and we're going to loosen them up because they're really tight. Now, what happens? Why is that important? Guys are powerful, and because they lack a free movement, they're stiff, and because they're stiff, they pull muscles. And usually, not enough warm up and not enough care for flexibility before they start working out. And what we're going to do is we're going to learn quickly how to stretch these muscles and how to, a few short exercises, increase our core strength, and this will help the flexibility. Why is the flexibility so important? Especially taking martial arts. If a person kicks, he does a kick, all right, and he's got a powerful kick, okay, but even that powerful kick, what you have in physics, you have power times speed equals velocity, and that's the difference between hitting an opponent and knocking him out. Okay, so what happens when a person has loose hip flexors, fluid hip flexors, and he can move fluidly, then what he could do is he's very much flexible. Where a person with tight hip flexors can maybe kick this high. A person he's loosened up in the glutes, he's loosened up in the hamstrings, and he could go way higher, and he could go way faster, and it's much more. So you get the same power gets twice the speed, and twice the speed is really 4 times the velocity, and it's much more important. It's the same thing with a punter in football. It's the same thing with a sprinter especially. And the big number one problem of sprinters is pulled hamstrings. Pulled hamstrings. They've got Olympic sprinters, they've been on the verge of gold medals, and all of a sudden, cling, pull things. Same thing with weightlifters, and especially guys that deal in MMA, combat arts, karate, whatever. Okay, so first you're going to lose movement number 1. Very simple movement. You're going to hug yourself. You have to love yourself. You're going to hug yourself, and you're going to pivot forward only at the torso. You keep your back erect and always maintain the arch in the back. You never lose the arch of the back. Never lose your back form. Maintain your arch of the back. Hug yourself like this and just move forward, move forward, move forward. Go all the way down as low as you can. This is the first exercise. It's going to be the last exercise because we're going to check the difference of our elasticity now, or flexibility now. Flexibility head. I'm going to go lower. You see as I rock back and forth, hug myself, rock back and forth, go a little bit lower. Now what happens as I go a little bit lower? Let's take from the side. As I go lower here, I'm stretching the hamstrings, especially when I get to the bottom tendon that connects my hamstring to the knee. This is an important place. It's a critical place right here where many hamstring pulls occur. And we're loosening this. First thing we're loosening, you can feel the pull. You can see all the time I'm a little bit lower. Watch my elbows, they're a little bit lower to the ground. Then come back up and extend. All right, that's number 1. Good. Exercise number 2. Now I'm not going to bend my knees like I did before. It's hugging the ground. Diagnostic, I'm going to check my elasticity, check my flexibility, how loose I am. And some people can't touch their toes. What we want to do, we want to be in a situation where we can touch the ground. Okay, we touch the ground. All right, now that's 1 time, but I'm going to loosen up even more every time I go down, loosen more. Now I touch the ground with all 5 fingers without bending my knees. Now, get true until I can palm the ground. Now, in order to do this, you can't do this if you have a punchy stomach. All right, you have to eat properly and have proper form, but do the best you can, because all the time as I'm doing this, I'm stretching the glutes, I'm stretching the hamstrings, and back down to the floor. That's exercise number 2. Exercise number 3, we're not going to go into a Pilates movement. Okay, in Pilates, what we will do is we will now do an impulse Pilates leg stretch, which means like this. On my back, extend the leg, grab one leg, and pull, impulse, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm keeping my knees straight, and I'm pulling this entire hamstring. This is the third exercise, and my hamstrings and my glutes, they're loosening up now. They're loosening up now. Okay, that's the third exercise. We're going to go to exercise number 4. Exercise number 4, we are going into a kneeling stretch on our knees. One leg forward, perpendicular. Maintain a 90-degree angle. Not like this, not like this. Okay, here we go. Now, both hands inside the knee. That's the 90-degree forward. With the back leg, I'm going to take that back leg and just go back, go back, go back. Extend the back leg. Now I can already feel stretching here. And in my back leg, ooh. Now I lean forward a little bit. As I lean forward, I'm stretching this muscle here. Okay, I would do one side and extend, extend. We put pressure here and pressure on the back. So here we're the hamstrings, and here we're extending the quads. Now we switch. We go this way, and we're gonna do hamstrings, quad. Now, extending the hamstrings here and loosening the quads like this, back. Stress, and we put pressure on the quad here. As we go a little bit lower, we stretch the hamstring here. Okay, that's that. Now we go back up and we check ourselves. We'll take one kick, one leg, and opposite hand. Okay, first shoulder length. Try the shoulder length kick, shoulder length kick. Shoulder length kick, shoulder length kick. Now I take it and a little bit higher, head length. See, oh, that was much easier than before because we really loosened that up. Now head length kick, that kick, and this. And what we're doing, we're taking a Pilates movement and a karate movement and an MMA movement, and we're moving them all together. Okay, this is what we do in functional fitness. So when you do this and you worry about the way you eat and you exercise properly, you can do it. So once more now, let's go even a bit higher. Okay, if we jump, we'll go even way above the head, and oh, I didn't even feel that. That means that my hamstring is loose. One more time, the other side, and this side. And let's go even higher. We finished those exercises. Once again, we did our hug stretch, and we did our standing leaning stretch, and then we did our kneeling stretch and our Pilates movement. Now let's check ourselves again. We go back to the very beginning and we do our hugging stretch once more. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, pleasure, pleasure. Oh, pleasure, much lower. Can't even feel where before we could feel the stretching. We didn't feel the stretching. That means you're loose. If you don't feel the muscle, it is loose. It is now, okay, that's what you want to do. Take those basic exercises that warm up before you lift weights, before you run, before you sprint, whatever you do that bit of lower body loosening up, and you'll be a champ. God bless.